The Urbana Tigers, the visiting squad. They're coming off a big victory last week, their first victory this season. Defeated Springfield Langfair 50-0, and the story of the game was Alex Beckman, the quarterback of the Urbana Tigers. He threw for 371 yards and 6 touchdowns, both school records for the season. He's got 806 yards passing passes. He has thrown 5 interceptions. On the running side of the ball, it's for the Tigers. Actually, let's go to the Centennial side. They are coached by Mike McDonald. They got a 1-3 record as well. They won their first game in the season, but they've lost 3 in a row since then. They are led by quarterback Jimmy Fitzgerald. He's thrown for 600 yards and 5 touchdowns this season and only thrown 1 interception. He's also rushed for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns. A very highly touted quarterback here, as you see Centennial getting ready to enter the field. Fitzgerald does have a scholarship offer from the U of I. Very special entrance getting ready to happen here at Centennial. A young man who's got a very severe illness is going to lead the Chargers onto the field here tonight. He's behind the banner with the team right now. His name is Jordan. It's the Children's Miracle Network, part of setting this thing up tonight, and Jordan will lead the Chargers onto the field here in the big rivalry game against the Tigers. A very special, heartfelt moment here. As we're waiting for him to lead the team on the field, we can continue to talk more about the Chargers. On the rushing side of things, they are led by here he comes right now. There he comes leading them onto the field there, Jordan. Great moment for the fans, for Jordan, for the team. So I'm sorry, back now to the Centennial Chargers. On the running side of the ball, it's Austin Maltbia, a 5'9 junior, 180 pounds. He's the leading running back for them with 226 yards and a touchdown. On the receiving side of things, it's Stephen Lee, also a junior. He's 6'3", 210 pounds. He's got 24 catches for 222 yards and a touchdown this season. Centennial defeated Decatur Eisenhower 28-7 on the opening week, but since then they have fallen to MacArthur, Danville, and Normal Community, and they're looking to get things going back on track here tonight. Whoever wins this game, 2 1-3 teams can still have a realistic shot at thinking playoffs, but the loser could be on the outside looking in here for the rest of the season. Back to the Urbana side of the ball, we talked about Alex Beckman, but we could also talk about the running side of the ball, and that would be their running back James Cobbs. He's a 6-foot senior. Cobbs has rushed for 357 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's also got 201 yards receiving and a touchdown. We also have receiver Tanner Russell. Russell has 260 yards receiving and 4 touchdown catches. And if you remember in that game against Central that we had here in Week 2 on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET, Russell actually played quarterback for the Tigers and nearly led them to victory before they fell 21-20 to the Maroons. So here we are, set for kickoff here at Tommy Stewart Field here in Champaign, Week 5 of the Illinois high school football season. Thank you for joining us here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. And here's the kickoff, and it's returned here by the Tigers. That is Jamin Carter on the return. He takes it up to about the 35, and that's where Urbana will start their first. Apologize for that technical difficulty, but we are back here at Tommy Stewart Field. Loss of 7 yards on the first play there for Urbana, so a good start by the Centennial defense. At quarterback for the Tigers is number 12, Alex Beckman. We talked about him before the game. Of course, the U of I coach Tim Beckman's son here. Beckman is a sophomore, only a sophomore, 6 foot. He's looking down the far sideline here, and he overthrows him, and it fades out of bounds. He was looking for Tanner Russell, who we talked about previously, who played quarterback in that Week 2 game. So just inside the first minute here of the ball game, 11:17 on the clock, and Urbana has a 3rd down and 17. So Centennial looked to get a quick stop, a 3-and-out here, and get their offense on the field. In the shotgun is Beckman with Cobbs in the backfield. He's got 2 receivers to each side of the field. He's looking to throw here to the near side, and it's going to be off the hands there of James Cobbs. Incomplete, and that'll force a punt for the Tigers. Back to receive for Centennial is Aaron Quinn, a 5'10" wide receiver. He's a senior for the Chargers. He's back to receive the punt for Centennial. There's the punt. Down towards the middle of the field. Quinn's going to decide to pick it up at the last minute. Makes a nice move. He's brought down about the 39-yard line, though. A nice tackle there by Urbana's Jalen Jones. Jones had a huge play in that Week 2 game as he recovered a Champaign Central fumble and ran it in for a touchdown. That gave Urbana the 20-13 lead that they just couldn't hang on to. But that was a big play in that ball game that Jones made. So 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Jimmy Fitzgerald will lead them to the line of scrimmage. He's in the shotgun. Maltbia in the backfield. Austin Maltbia, we talked about him, the leading running back for the Chargers. The fake to Maltbia, the throw to the outside. He's got him. He's open, and he's going to try to find some room there. He breaks one tackle, and he's going to be brought down near midfield. Gain of about 9. That's Aaron Quinn, the punt returner for the Chargers. We might have a late hit here as he was out of bounds. And it seemed Urbana might have hit him while he was out of bounds. We'll see what the signal is, but I believe it's going to probably be a late hit on the Tigers. Just under a minute, 10:54 on the clock. Oh, it's roughing the passer as Fitzgerald did take a hit after he let go of the ball. But I thought the penalty might have been on a late hit on the sidelines, but it wasn't on the hit on Fitzgerald. So a big play by the Chargers, 9-yard gain followed by a 15-yard penalty. It puts them all the way up to the 37-yard line of the Tigers already. As we wind the clock and we're ready to go. Fitzgerald with the give to Maltby, and he coughs it up. Ball's still loose. It looked like a Tiger probably got it. We'll have to wait to sort out the pile, but I believe that the Tigers probably recovered it. And they did recover it. Urbana with a big fumble recovery. So after the Chargers get 24 yards on the first play with the penalty and the gain of the play, a fumble by Maltbia as him and Fitzgerald had a little trouble with the exchange. And now Urbana will take over at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10, trying to draw first blood here in this ball game. 10:46 on the clock. Beckman in the shotgun. Receives the snap, looking to throw to the far side there. He's got a man, but he just overthrows him. That was Dustin Lard, senior wide receiver, looking therefore on the far side of the field. Just out of his grasp. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 for Urbana. So Urbana trying to take advantage of the early fumble here by the Chargers. Beckman will have an empty backfield this time as he's got 2 wide receivers to the far side and 3 to the near side. Now man in motion is 45, Kenny Patton. He's now in the backfield, and they give it to Patton, but Centennial's ready for that one, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of only 1 yard. That'll make it 3rd down and 9 for the Tigers. So 3rd down and 9. Beckman again in the shotgun. He's got Patton in the backfield with him again. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. He's looking here to the near side. He's got a man on a slant. That's Cobbs, and he catches it, and he might go the distance. He's at the 20, the 10, the 5, and he's brought down at the 3-yard line. That is James Cobbs on the catch. A quick. Beckman found him. Cobbs normally the running back, but they had Patton in the backfield, and Cobbs split out here to the near side. They hit him, and Cobbs turned on the afterburners and nearly went the distance. But that sets up the Tigers 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. So 2 minutes gone by here in the ball game, and we've got Urbana already threatening to put some points on the board. Beckman in the shotgun, Patton with him again. He throws it over the middle, incomplete, as he was looking for, it's like number 7 there over the middle. Jeff Trask. He went for a quick slant right over the middle, but it was just thrown a little bit too far, and Trask wasn't able to grab it. So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3 now. Patton again in the backfield with Beckman. Beckman. Oh, we might have a false start here on the Tigers. Oh, it's offsides on the Chargers, actually. So that'll be half the distance to the goal, so that'll make it 2nd down and goal from about the 1.5. So Urbana will line up there on the 1.5, 2nd down and goal. Beckman still in the shotgun with Patton with him. Cobbs here to the near side again, 3 to the far side. He's going to look for a man, and he hit him. I believe that's Trask. It is Trask. Jeff Trask with the catch. Tried to find Trask on the 1st down play with a quick slant. Was unable to hit him, but he hit him that time. And the Tigers have put points up on the board first here tonight at Tommy Stewart Field. It is 6-0 in favor of Urbana. Now we'll see if they go for 2 or if they just try to kick the extra point. Looks like they're going to go for 2 as Beckman remains in the game. He'll stay in the shotgun with Patton in the backfield with him. It's like they're going to use Cobbs, at least so far tonight. He's been used as a wide receiver. He's looking to throw it there to the near side, and it is caught by Dustin Lard. That makes it 8-0 Urbana. So a quick pass attack by the Tigers here tonight so far. Some good work by Alex Beckman. The big pass play to James Cobbs set him up 1st and goal at the 3. And the Tigers took it in from there with a couple of short passes, 1 for a touchdown and then 1 for a 2-point conversion. So with 9:44 left to go here in the 1st quarter, Urbana leads Centennial 8-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds. We're back here in Champaign as the Tigers getting ready to kick off after their touchdown drive of about 60 yards. It's a short kick, so Centennial will have good field position. As that was number 45, Patrick Gibbons, coming up and making the catch about the 32-yard line. So that's where Centennial will take over, trailing 8-0 here with 9:43 to go here in the opening quarter at Tommy Stewart Field. Thank you for joining us tonight here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I am Chris Foster, joined here tonight by Rob Woods and Taylor Dorsey. Fitzgerald in at quarterback for Chargers. He's looking to throw. Incomplete as he was looking for a quick pass to Christian Wade here on the near side. Unable to find him. Urbana getting some good pressure on Fitzgerald here early in the game, as he's had to unload the ball before he was ready a couple of times. So 2nd down and 10 for Centennial. Ball remains at the 32-yard line. 9:39 shows on the clock here in the first quarter. Fitzpatrick in the shotgun. Empty backfield, man in motion is Aaron Quinn. Fitzpatrick looking to throw. He's got a receiver open, and he makes the catch, and he's going to be, did he stay up? Looked like his knee might have gone down, but he stays on his feet. That's Stephen Lee, junior wide receiver for the Chargers. We talked about him before the game. Lee leads the team with 24 receptions and 222 yards and a touchdown. So mark him up for his 25th catch of the season right there. A nice pitch and catch there between Fitzgerald and Lee. And now with the ball at the 41 of the Tigers, Centennial looking to continue this drive here. They give it up the middle to Maltbia, and he's going to get a nice gain, pick up about 7 yards. That'll make it 2nd down and 3 from the 34 now of Centennial. So Fitzgerald in the shotgun, Maltbia in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to each side of the field. Fitzgerald receives a snap, fakes it to Maltbia. He's going to look to run, and he's got a little bit of room to the outside. He gets to the 30 and then brought down about the 26. That'll be a 1st down for Centennial. Fitzgerald is a threat to run as he's rushed for 265 yards and 3 touchdowns this season. 600 through the air, 265 on the ground. Added up, that's 865 yards of offense, and he's responsible for 8 touchdowns, 5 through the air, 3 through the ground. He's only thrown 1 interception this year, so a very efficient work by Fitzgerald. And he'll line up in the empty backfield again here. 1st and 10, ball at the 26. He's looking to throw this time, and he's hit Aaron Quinn on the outside. And he picks up about 7 more for Centennial. So they're picking up yardage here in chunks here. So far, pretty similar attacks by Urbana and Centennial. The offenses look alike. Line up in the shotgun, spread out the defenses, and try to hit some quick passes to the outside. Use your speed. Under 8 minutes now. Fitzgerald in the shotgun again. Maltbia with him in the backfield. And the give is to Maltbia this time. He's got a hole up the middle, and he's brought down about the 9-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down. A gain of about 9 or 10 yards on that carry. The tackle for the Tigers was by Kenny Patton, the running back who was in there for the Tigers, with Cobbs being split out at wide receiver there on that first drive. So Fitzgerald will bring the Chargers to the line again in the shotgun. 1st and goal from the 10. Maltbia in the backfield with him. Fakes it to Maltbia this time, and this time Fitzgerald cannot get to the outside. Great job by the Urbana defense. Cedric Fry with the tackle, a 5-yard loss for the Chargers. Fry made several good plays in the Urbana Champaign Central game that we had here on week 2 for you on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Probably a name I'll be calling on for Urbana quite a bit tonight, as Cedric is a very good defender for the Tigers. So now 2nd down and 15, 2nd and goal from the 15 for the Chargers. Fitzgerald in the shotgun. He's looking to throw here to the outside. He's going for the fade. He's got a man open. Incomplete. It was Stephen Lee. Good coverage there on the outside for Urbana. Looked like a little bit of contact, but I think both the receivers are trying to fight each other off with their hands, so I think that was a call by the referee there. So that'll make it 3rd and goal now from the 15 for Centennial. Fitzgerald in the shotgun again with Maltbia. 2 receivers on each side once again. We'll see where they decide to go with this one. He's looking to throw. Now he's looking to possibly run with it. And he's going to try to find some space to run, and he's going to get it down to the 11, but that's where he runs out of room. So that'll bring up a 4th down for Centennial. Make it 4th and goal to go from the 11. We'll see if they try to dial up a play here to get a touchdown. Well, if they decide to bring in the kicker to kick what would amount to about a 27-yard field goal for Centennial. We'll see. Looks like Urbana has called the timeout as they want to prepare the defense to whatever they think Centennial is going to do here. So we're going to take a quick break here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. We'll be back in 60 seconds. We're back here at Tommy Stewart Field in Champaign. It's Champaign Centennial and the Urbana Tigers. Urbana out to an 8-0 lead here with 6:16 to go in the first quarter. It's 4th and goal to go at the 10 for Centennial, and they're going for it. Fitzgerald looking for somebody to find. He's got a man open, but he overthrew him. That was Dominic Stampley. Stampley was open there about the 1-yard line. He found a little hole in the Urbana defense, and he tried to sit down in it, but Fitzgerald overthrew him just a little bit. And that's where Urbana will take over now. 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line as they deny the Chargers there on that drive with 6:11 to go here in the first quarter. So Beckman will bring the Urbana offense back out on the field. Looks like Cobb's in the backfield this time, and the give is to Cobbs, and he lost the ball. Still a scrum. We're going to have to see who came up with this one. This would be a huge play for Centennial if they're able to come down with this recovery. Centennial had a big fumble on their opening drive as they were moving the ball, and Urbana recovered it and went on to go down and score. But Urbana recovers their own fumble this time as an exchange between Beckman and Cobbs caused the fumble, but they were able to get it back. A loss of 3 yards on the fumble, so 2nd down and 13 now on their own 7-yard line. Dangerous territory here for the Tigers as they're backed up against their own end zone. Beckman looking to throw. He's got a man there on the outside, but he overthrew him. That was Jeff Trask. He's the one who caught the touchdown pass for the Tigers there on their first scoring drive here tonight. So 3rd down and 13 now. A big play here for the Centennial defense. They'd love to get a 3 and out and get off the field and set up the offense with good field position. So Beckman and Cobbs in the backfield again. Beckman in the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Beckman looking to throw. He's looking for a man here. He's open, but he's just overthrown. I believe that's Trask again. Good coverage there. Jeremiah Peoples on the coverage there for Centennial. Trask was open there on the far side. He had a step on Peoples, but Beckman was unable to make a connection with him. So they're going to have to punt from their own 7-yard line with 5:20 left to go here in the first quarter. Aaron Quinn back deep for the Chargers. He's standing at his own 39-yard line. Good pressure, a very high kick. He's at the 35. He bobbles it and picks it up, and he's going to be marked down about the 38. Too bad there for Quinn as he had some room to run if he was able to catch that punt. But nonetheless, good field position for the Chargers here as they're going to try to even up this game. Fitzgerald will come back out on the field for Centennial after leading them all the way down to their 10-yard line last time before being turned away. They're going to try to see if they can finish a drive this time. So Fitzgerald and Maltbia again in the backfield. 3 receivers to the far side. Maltbia looking for some room to run. A nice cut able to get to about the 35, gain of about 3. So second down and 7 for the Chargers. 4:44 showing on the clock here at Tommy Stewart Field. 8-0 Urbana leading Centennial. There's the snap to Fitzgerald. He finds a man on the outside. He's only able to gain about a yard, as that was Dominic Stampley. That'll make it third down and about 6 for Centennial.
He's knocked out of bounds at the Urbana 34-yard line. Tackle and play by Tauber.
Fitzgerald awaiting the play call here from the sideline. Dominic Stampley will come in from the sideline now for the Chargers. See, we got Maltbia and Fitzgerald again in the backfield. Again, 2 receivers to each side. So spreading the field once again to the Chargers. He's looking for someone to throw. He's got plenty of time, no pressure. Now he overthrows Maltbia. He had Maltbia open over there for just a second, but he overthrew him. Mosea Bumba out there on the coverage. Possibly a little bit too aggressive there on the outside. It could have possibly drawn a flag there with a little bit of a late shoulder there, but no flag thrown. That makes it 4th and 6 for Centennial, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it here, as they're kind of in no man's land. They're too far for a field goal, and really a punt won't do them much good from this part of the field. So it is Centennial going for it here on 4th and 6. Their second 4th down try of the night, as they had a 4th and goal from the 10 on their last drive that failed. Fitzgerald looking to throw. He's got a man to the outside. He's open, and he makes the catch. Nice little throw to the outside there to Kiri Sago. Sago, a 6'2", 170-pound wide receiver, able to use his height there to get open there on the outside, and it's 1st and 10 for Centennial. Ball at the 26-yard line. So a big 4th down conversion there for the Chargers. They'll continue this drive now. The same set they've had for a good part of the game. One back in the backfield, 2 receivers to each side. They give us to Maltbia. He's got a hole up the middle, and he's broken a couple tackles, and then he's brought down about the 18. That was John Tauber on the tackle for the Tigers. So that's a gain of 8, makes it 2nd down and 2 for Centennial. Again, I hope you're enjoying our broadcast here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I am Chris Foster. Thank you for joining us here on Week 5 of the Illinois high school football season. There's the snap, and the give is to Maltby again. He's got a huge hole. He makes a couple of moves, and he gets it down to about the 3-yard line. First and goal for Centennial at the 4-yard line. A great job of blocking by the Centennial offensive line, as they've opened up some huge holes here for Maltbia on the last 2 plays. So 1st and goal from the 4. Fitzgerald awaiting the snap. He gives it to Maltbia again. He's got a little bit of a hole this time. He's able to power through it for about 2 or 3 yards. That'll be 2nd and goal from the 1 now. Centennial looking to put some points on the board, trailing 8-0 here as we approach 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Again, both these teams 1-3, so both teams looking to get their second win of the season and keep the playoffs hopes alive. There's the give to Maltbia, and he scores. An easy run in for Maltbia. Makes it 8-6. And now I'm sure Centennial will probably go for 2 here to try to tie up this ball game. As I said, both teams looking for their second victory, and you don't want to fall to 1-4. Pretty much that doesn't leave you any room for any other losses the rest of the season if you want to make the playoffs. So a big game here for both schools to kind of keep the playoffs in the future, the playoff hopes alive. So Fitzgerald comes up to the shotgun. They're going to go for the 2. He's looking to throw here. This man, good coverage there on the outside. A flag as he was looking for Dominic Stampley. Looks like Kenny Patton was on the coverage, and he's going to get a flag. So that'll move it half the distance, put it about the 1.5 yard line for Centennial to try to go for 2 here to tie up this ball game, trailing 8-6 with 2:57 to go here at Tommy Stewart Field. So they respot the ball. Christian Wade just checked in for the Chargers.
Move the ball half the distance to the goal. It's an automatic first down.
So going for 2 here are the Chargers, and they give it to Maltbia, and he's got room, and he's in. Austin Maltbia, the 5'9", 180-pound junior, runs in the 2-point conversion, and this game is tied at 8. Just under 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. We'll be right back here in 60 seconds here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. We're back here in Champaign as Stephen Lee kicks it off, and Cobbs for Urbana picks it up. He finds a little bit of room, and he's going to be brought down about the 38. Stephen Lee there on the kick. That's actually Jamin Carter. Sorry for that. Carter is just a freshman, 5'7", 150 pounds, but he returns it all the way up to the 39-yard line. That's where Urbana will start their next drive here, as Beckman will bring the offense back out on the field. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, 1 back in the backfield. Some pressure on Beckman, and he's going to be brought down. Good pressure by Centennial. Number 53, Leland Jackson, coming off the edge. That's one way to stop that passing game right there, is to get the pressure on the quarterback. Kylan DeBose also in on the tack, but it was Leland Jackson who came off the edge and forced Beckman to scramble to the outside, and Jackson brought him down. So 2nd down and 16 now for the Tigers after the loss of 6. Beckman in the shotgun. Empty backfield, 2 receivers to the far side, 3 to the near side now. Quick pass there to Cobbs on the outside, and he's got room to run. He's going to gain about 10 yards on the play. That's James Cobbs, the senior running back. It's going to make it about a third down and 4 for the Tigers. That was a 2nd down and 16, so they picked up about 12 yards on that play. So Beckman in the shotgun, Cobbs in the backfield this time. No give to Cobbs. He throws over the middle, but the receiver wasn't looking. That was Dustin Lard. So a little bit of a communication error there between Beckman and Lard. And that'll force the Tigers to punt here. 4th and 3 at their own 46. And they'll bring the punter out here. Back deep again for the Chargers is Aaron Quinn. Cedric Fry back to punt for the Tigers. This is a possible part of the field down and distance that you could see a fake here by the Tigers. But it looks like they're going to go ahead and punt it. Good pressure, but he was able to get the punt off. It's going to hit at the 30 and bounce forward about 12 yards. It's going to be down at the 19-yard line, and that's where the Chargers will start their next drive here with 1:51 left to go here in the first quarter. Centennial 8, Urbana 8. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. One good thing about the internet is you don't have to be around Champaign to view the game. I hear we got some people in Georgia tuning in tonight. I'd like to thank them for tuning in. So with 1:51 here to go in the first quarter, Centennial will come out to start their next drive. Fitzgerald in the shotgun with Maltbia. Maltbia had a very good drive last time. They give it to him this time, and he breaks through the line of scrimmage, and he's going to pick up about 16 yards as he gets up to the 36. It looked like he was stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but he broke through the hole there and picks up about 16 yards, and that'll make it 1st and 10 for Centennial at the 36. Maltbia having very good success here on the last two drives. The offensive line has made some holes for him. That time he did most of the work himself as he was just able to bounce off a couple of tacklers, and then he found a hole. This time the fake to Maltbia, and Fitzgerald tries to go to the outside, but he's nailed after a gain of only 1 yard. Make it 2nd down and 9 for Centennial now. So they've got the ball at the 36-yard line. An 8-8 score here in Champaign, approaching a minute to go here in the first quarter. Second down and 9 for Centennial. Fitzgerald in the shotgun, Maltbia with him. 3 receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. Looked like some movement there by Centennial. Looked like number 53 possibly left early. Leland Jackson there, the guy who made the huge sack on defense. He looked like he jumped a little bit early for the Chargers. That'll knock him back 5 yards. Make it 2nd down and 14 now for the Chargers. So we approach 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Centennial has a 2nd down and 14 at their own 32. Fitzgerald awaiting the snap, low snap, but he gets it. Looking to throw, he's got a man open and he hits him. That's Quinn on the outside. Aaron Quinn with the catch. Gets about half the yardage that they needed. Turns a 2nd and 14 into a 3rd and 6. And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter here in Champaign. And we come back for the second quarter. It will be 3rd and 6 for Centennial at their own 40-yard line. This game is tied at 8 here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. Welcome back to Champaign here. So the 3rd down play is a completion to Stephen Lee. It's very close to the 1st down. A quick play out of the quarter there as they came up and did a quick snap. And it is a 1st down for the Chargers. So a connection there between Fitzgerald and Lee sets up a 1st down at their own 46-yard line. Fitzgerald wears number 6. He's awaiting the snap, and he gives it to number 5, Maltbia, and he's got room again. Maltbia picking up chunks of yardage here so far tonight. Another 12 yards for him. That'll make it 1st and 10 now inside Tiger territory at the 43-yard line. So far, no answer by the Tiger defense for Maltbia. The last 2 drives, he's been unstoppable for the Chargers. So Fitzgerald in the shotgun. He gives it to Maltbia again. There's another hole up the middle, and he plows forward. He's still going forward, and he goes all the way to the 33, 32-yard line. Another 10, 11-yard carry, and that's another 1st down for Centennial. Maltbia did a great job there of keeping those legs moving, and he moved the pile forward. And that's another Charger 1st down as they're moving the ball by running it right down Urbana's throat here so far on this drive. Maltbia and Fitzgerald again in the backfield. There's the snap, the give us to Maltbia. This time Urbana is able to bring him down. Johnny Murray and Mike Martinez in on the tackle there for Urbana. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 for Centennial. After a series of successful runs there by Maltbia, Urbana finally able to answer with a stop. That'll make it 2nd down and 10 now for Centennial. So Fitzgerald brings him to the line of scrimmage. Maltbia again in the backfield. Fitzgerald looking to throw here. He's got a man wide open down the middle, and he makes the catch. That's Christian Wade. Makes the catch. It's a junior wide receiver. He went right down the middle seam of the field. It looked like he was getting ready to take a hit, but he was able to duck down and catch the ball. Avoided taking the hit, and a huge play for the Chargers as they now have 1st and goal to go inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. So Fitzgerald brings the offense to the line again. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. He's looking there to the far side. He hits it for number 10 again, Wade. Only able to come up with the catch, but then fall down pretty much immediately. I'm not sure if they're calling it a catch or an incompletion. Looks like it is a catch. He loses a yard on the play. That'll make it 2nd and goal from the 10. Stephen Lee checking in here from the Chargers. Bringing the play into Fitzgerald. 2nd and goal from the 10 for Centennial, looking to take the lead. They trailed 8-0 after an early touchdown by Urbana. But now with 9 minutes left to go here in the half, they're looking to go ahead here as we are currently tied at 8. Fitzgerald awaiting the snap. And he's going to give it to Maltbia. He's going to try to find some room up the middle. Maybe a couple. That'll make it 3rd and goal from the 8. So the Urbana defense tightening up a little bit on the run plays as Centennial has entered the red zone. They've been able to lock down a couple of Maltbia runs as a bunch of big runs got them all the way down here to this area as Maltbia was picking up 10, 12 yards at a time. But now we've got a 3rd down and 8 for Centennial. 3rd and goal from the 8. Fitzgerald in the shotgun. Maltbia again in the backfield. 2 receivers to each side. He's looking here to the near side. He's looking for the fade, and he's open. Aaron Quinn. Looked like Quinn stopped his route. He was open, but it looked like he stopped his route for a second, and then when he tried to keep his recovery, the ball ended up being a little bit too high. So that'll make it 4th and goal now here for Centennial on the 8. Earlier in the game, they had a 4th and goal from the 10, and they decided to go for it and not kick the 27-yard field goal. And it appears they're going to bypass the 25-yard field goal attempt here and go for it here on 4th down and 8. So 4th and 8 for Centennial. Fitzgerald, he's got the snap. He's looking to the near side. It's going to be dropped by Dominic Stampley. They were looking for him over the middle. I'm not sure even he would have got in even if he had caught it. He looked like he would have been dropped about the 2-yard line. But nonetheless, the Tigers are able to turn Centennial away for the second time tonight when they're in the red zone. They had a 4th and goal from the 10 that they did not convert, and this was a 4th and goal from the 8 that they could not convert. So that's where Alex Beckman will come out now on his own 8-yard line, and Urbana will take over with 8:11 to go here in the first half. They give it up the middle there. That's to James Cobbs there. Cobbs has been all over the place so far tonight. He's been in the backfield. He's been split out to a wide receiver. So they've been using him in a lot of different spots. On the drive where they scored their touchdown, they mainly used him as a wide receiver and had Patton at running back, and Cobbs made a couple of big catches on that drive. Beckman in the shotgun. He's looking to throw here. He's got a man. He's looking for deep, but it's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Tanner Russell there on the outside, but good coverage by Centennial. Coverage there on the outside by Alan Terry. So they'll make it 3rd down and 9, a big play for the Centennial defense here. They'd love to force a punt by Urbana here, backed up against the end zone. Beckman in the shotgun. He's going to look to pass. A good blitz here picked up by the Tigers, and a nice pass for Russell, but he was unable to bring it in. He would have had a first down about the 25-yard line, but Russell unable to hang on to it. That was actually pretty good execution by the Tigers. Centennial blitzed. A good job picking up the blitz. A nice pass, but Russell just unable to haul it in there at the 25. And that'll force Cedric Fry to come in for the Tigers and punt it away to Aaron Quinn, who's standing about the 43-yard line. The punt is up, a high punt. It's going to hit down about the 35, 36, be down at the 37-yard line. Down there for the Tigers. And that's where Centennial will take over. Very good field position for the Chargers. So although they were unable to punch in the score on their last 4th down conversion, the defense did a great job of not letting Urbana gain any yards. And now Centennial's back out on the field with very good field position. So 1st down and 10 at the Tiger 37 for Fitzgerald and the Chargers. It's like a timeout by the Tigers. That's their 2nd timeout of the half. And with 7:19 left to go here in the 2nd quarter, we are tied at 8. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We are back here in Champaign, 7:19 left to go here in the first half. The give is to Maltbia, and he spins out of the tackle, but he's still going to be brought down. A horde of Tigers brought him down. He was able to spin off the first tackle, but when he spun around and turned around, it just turned into a bunch of Urbana defenders. Second down and 11 now for Centennial. Fitzgerald in the shotgun, Maltby in the backfield. A quick throw here to the outside to Stephen Lee. He tries to power forward, and he's only going to pick up about 4 yards as he powers to about the 43-yard line, or make that the 37. That'll make it third down and 9 for the Tigers. Not for the Tigers, for the Chargers. Sorry about that. Urbana on defense, Centennial on offense. Tied at 8 with 6 minutes left to go here in the first half. There's been a lot of offense here so far tonight. The ball's been moved pretty well by both teams, but only one score to show for it on both sides. Third down and 9, Fitzgerald awaiting the snap. Possible blitz here by the Tigers. Picked up pretty well by Centennial. But now he's going to be swung down, and that's by Cedric Fry, the man I told you I'd probably be calling his name several times here tonight. A good play by Fry. He's a 6'3", 265-pound junior defensive lineman. That's the second nice play of the night. A nice tackle for loss by Fry, and that makes it fourth down and 18 for Centennial, and turns a possible 4-down situation into a punting situation as Centennial's trying to get set here. Torrey Kelleher entering onto the field here for Centennial. Dustin Lard back deep to receive for the Tigers. The punt is underway. Lard goes for a fair catch, and he'll catch it at the 16-yard line. And with 4:45 left to go here in the first half, Urbana will take over right there. And we are still tied at 8 here in Champaign. So we told you at the opening, a Big 12 matchup here. Both teams 1-3. An interesting Illinois connection there at quarterback, as we've got Alex Beckman, Illinois' head coach's son, the Urbana's quarterback, as he throws an incompletion there. I believe it was an incompletion. We'll see. Maybe they marked it a catch. That was Jamin Carter that he was looking for. And he did make the catch. I thought it hit the ground, but they call it a catch. So second down and 1 for Urbana. As I was saying, Beckman is Illinois coach Tim Beckman's son, and on the Chargers side, their quarterback, Jimmy Fitzgerald, has got a scholarship offer from the U of I. So some Illinois connections here at quarterback on the field tonight. Beckman looking for some room up the middle after he was pressured, and he finds nowhere to go. No gain, or maybe the loss of a yard, and that'll make it a third down and 2, or a long 1 for the Tigers. They go no huddle here as Beckman's lined up in the shotgun. They got 4 receivers here to the near side and 1 to the far side. So an interesting formation here for Urbana. They're going to hit Cobbs there on the outside, and he's going to be able to pick up the first down. As basically they took the 3 guys out there and left them out there as blockers, and then threw the ball to Cobbs. It worked for about 3 yards. And that's a first down for the Tigers. So they'll continue the drive now here at the 29. Beckman in the shotgun, empty backfield again, 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. So they're spreading the field here, and he's looking there for Trask, a dangerous pass, as Trask wasn't turned around yet. Those are the type of ones that you see get batted up in the air and then picked off and ran the other way, but fortunately for Urbana, it hit the ground. And then make it second down and 10 now for the Tigers. .320 shows here on the clock in the first half. Tied at 8, Beckman in the shotgun. Urbana trying to put a drive together here at the end of the second half to take the lead to the locker room. A quick slant by Cobbs, and he's unable to bring that one in. Maybe a little bit behind him, but there's been a couple of passes here that the Urbana receivers probably would tell you that they should have caught. That makes it 3rd down and 10 now for the Tigers. On their own 29-yard line. Cobbs will come to the backfield this time, so Beckman with Cobbs. 1 receiver here to the near side, that's Lard, and then 3 to the far side. Beckman awaiting the snap. He's looking to throw there. He's got a man downfield, and a great catch by number 34, Jamin Carter. Jamin Carter, we told you about him earlier, a 5'7", 150-pound freshman. Just a freshman, but you can see why he's in there. A great athletic catch by Carter. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Now inside Centennial territory at the 44-yard line. The clock's ticking now, approaching 3 minutes to go in the half. Cobbs in the backfield here with Beckman. Beckman with the snap, looking to throw. He's got a man there looking for him on the outside. It overthrows him. That was Tanner Russell that he was looking for there on the far side. But led him just a little bit too far. Pretty good coverage there as well by the Chargers. Not a whole lot of separation there. That was Alan Terry covering Russell there for Centennial. So 2nd down and 10 now for the Tigers. Beckman in the shotgun, standing at about midfield. A quick pass here, incomplete as he was looking for Lard, Dustin Lard. He wants a flag, but I think that was a good no call. Dominic Stampley on the coverage for Centennial, forcing a 3rd down and 10 now for the Tigers. So Beckman in the shotgun at the 49. Wasn't expecting the snap, but he was able to get it. And he looked over the middle there for Cobbs, James Cobbs. But that play was a little bit out of sync as Beckman wasn't really ready for the snap. And then he probably threw it before he was really ready to get rid of it. The snap kind of messed up the timing of the whole play. And that'll now give Centennial an opportunity here to put some points on the board before the half. With 2:47 left to go here. Cedric Fry will punt it off as Aaron Quinn awaits deep for the Chargers. He's standing about at his own 12-yard line. There's the kick, a very high kick. It's going to hit down about the 22 and bounce forward about 12 yards. A nice kick there for the Tigers as it ends up bouncing inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. So that's where Centennial will start this drive with 2:37 left to go here in the first half. So this is kind of a scary part of the field here for Centennial. They want to try to use the last 2:37 to put some points on the board, but at the same time, you want to be pretty careful down here by your own end zone. You don't want to turn the ball over and give Urbana a chance to score here late in the half. So Fitzgerald and Maltbia in the backfield. Fitzgerald's going to throw. He's getting pressured, and he finds Maltbia on a catch, and he's able to stay on his feet, and he's spun down about the 17-yard line. Urbana with a good blitz there as they were trying to possibly pick up a safety. But Fitzgerald was able to dump it off to Maltbia, and he made a nice gain of it, picking up about 10 yards on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 for Centennial now at the 18-yard line. And they fake to Maltbia. Now he's looking to run to the outside, and he's going to be crushed. That's Kenny Patton for the Tigers.
It'll be second down, second and 18.
That's a loss of about
Their own 10-yard line.
of 8 yards for Centennial. Makes it second down and 18 now. Inside 2 minutes to go in the half. He's got a man wide open. Over the middle, he bounces off one tackler, and he's going to be brought down about the 22-yard line. That's Stephen Lee.
Before Stephen Lee,
He came on the slant over the middle, and he was wide open.
that one play by Campbell. It'll be third down, third and 7 for Centennial.
So third down and 7 now as we're under a minute and a half to play here in the first half. Looking for a quick pass to Maltbia. He makes the catch. He's looking for some room, trying to get to the first down marker. It's going to be very close. I think he may be a yard short, but we'll have to wait and see where they spot it.
He tackled at the Centennial 27-yard line. Tackle and play by Fry.
He made it to the 27.
Officials timeout.
Looks like the marker's more around the 28, but we'll have to see here as they bring it out if he made the first down or not. 1:20 showing on the clock here at Tommy Stewart Field in Champaign. Crosstown rivals, the Urbana Tigers and the Champaign Centennial Chargers are knotted at 8 here. And it is a first down for Centennial.
First down, Centennial.
So that gives them an opportunity here with a minute 20 to try to continue this drive, see if they can put any points on the board before we go to the locker room. Clock has yet to be, there's the whistle, so the clock is running now. Fitzgerald in the shotgun, looking to throw. He's got a man open, and that's going to be caught by Dominic Stampley. He's going to run back a little bit, and he's going to be brought down at the 45. Stampley was wide open on that play. That's going to be another Centennial first down, and a timeout by the Chargers with a minute 8 to go here in the first half. So to recap,
The varsity football team.
Urbana and Centennial are tied here with about a minute to go here in the first half. They are tied at 8. Urbana scored their touchdown on a touchdown pass between Alex Beckman and Jeff Trask. That was the touchdown connection there, was Alex Beckman to Jeff Trask. A couple of big receptions by James Cobb set up that drive, and then they were able to connect. Trask was able to catch the 2-point conversion as well, which made it 8-0 Urbana. Centennial was able to respond behind the running of Austin Maltbia, and he ran in a touchdown for the Chargers as well as the 2-point conversion. And that's where we stand now with a minute 8 left to go here in the first half. Urbana 8, Centennial 8. Centennial with a first down and 10 at their own 45-yard line as Fitzgerald's trying to lead the Chargers down the field to put some points on the board before halftime. So Fitzgerald and the Charger offense back out on the field. Low snap, but he's able to field it. Looking to throw. He's got a man deep down to the outside, and it is caught. What a catch there by Stephen Lee. And a good throw as well by Fitzgerald. What a play by the Chargers. Under pressure was Fitzgerald as he was hammered on the play by Cedric Fry, but he was able to get it up, and Stephen Lee just went up and got it. All the way down to the Urbana 17-yard line, a huge play for the Chargers. And now we'll see what they do inside a minute here. Maltbia in motion, and the give is to Maltbia. He's looking for some running room. He breaks at one tackle, spun around, still on his feet, and then he's going to be brought down about the 14, 15-yard line. Clock still running as we're inside 40 seconds, and Centennial will call their second timeout. So with 38 seconds left to go here in the half, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Welcome back to Champaign here. 38 seconds left to go in the half. Tied at 8, but Centennial threatening here. 2nd down and 6 on their own 13-yard line. Fitzgerald with the snap, looking to throw. He's got a man open, and there's going to be a flag there. Stephen Lee was shoved down in the end zone. And that's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers. We'll see where they spot it, probably half the distance. So it'll be about the 6.5-yard line. Lee was getting ready to do a little out towards the outside of the end zone, and he was going to be wide open. He was just shoved down to the ground by the Urbana defender. It was probably a touchdown otherwise, so actually possibly a pretty smart play there by the Urbana Tigers, avoiding giving up the touchdown, at least on that play for now. 33 seconds left to go here. 1st and goal for the Chargers at the 7. Fitzgerald in the shotgun, Maltbia in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to each side of the field. And they give us to Maltbia, and he's going to be brought down about the 6, gain of maybe a yard. And Centennial is going to call their final timeout of the half with 26.5 seconds left to go here. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go from the 6 when Centennial gets done with this timeout. I'd like to thank you again for joining us here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET, our 5th live broadcast of the season here in Week 5 of the Illinois high school football season. Hope you're enjoying our broadcast. Next week, we will be in Champaign, but we will be at St. Thomas More as they take on the Spartans from St. Joseph Ogden. Looking forward to that matchup. And of course here at halftime we'll take about a 10-15 minute break, but I'll try to do a check on some of the other scores around the area, and we'll come back on the air before we kick off here the second half, and we'll try to share some of the other scores. Also possibly give you some baseball scores as some of the races there, wild card and division races, are winding down there in Major League Baseball. So here we go, 2nd and goal from the 6 for the Chargers. Fitzpatrick looking to throw, and it's too high for Dominic Stampley. He was open, but too high. So that'll make it 3rd and goal now from the 6. 22.9 seconds showing on the scoreboard here at Tommy Stewart Field. Empty backfield for the Chargers. Fitzgerald looking to throw. He has a man open in the middle of the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown. That's number 8, Michael Reisinger. Make that number 9, Kyrie Sago. Number 9, Kyrie Sago with the touchdown reception. And that makes it 14-8 in favor of the Chargers with 18.7 seconds left to go here in the first half. So the big pass between Fitzgerald and Stephen Lee ends up resulting in a touchdown drive for the Chargers. Now they've got the offense back out here on the field as they're going to go for 2 here to try to extend this to an 8-point lead. So a flag here. Looks like we might have a delay of game penalty on the Chargers. And that's going to make the 2-point conversion more difficult, obviously, as they're going to go back 5 yards now. So instead of trying to convert this from the 3-yard line, they'll be converting it from the 8. And that's where they'll try to go for 2 here. Standard formation as far as what we've seen tonight from Centennial. 2 receivers on each side. Maltby in the backfield. He's got a man wide open, and it's Dominic Stampley. 2-point conversion is good. And the Urbana Tiger defender bit hard on Fitzgerald's pump fake. As Fitzgerald threw a little pump fake, and the defender bit hard on it, and that left Stampley wide open in the back corner of the end zone. And Centennial leads this game 16-8 now with 18.7 seconds left to go here in the first half. So again, that time, most of the damage done through the air, as the first scoring drive for the Chargers was mostly on the ground by Austin Maltbia. But that one through the air, the big connection was Fitzgerald to Stephen Lee on what amounted to about a 40-yard completion down the far sideline. Lee did a great job of jumping up and bringing in the ball. And then a touchdown pass to Sago. And then a 2-point conversion to Dominic Stampley, all that through the air for the Chargers. And now they will kick off here. It's like Stephen Lee kicking off for Centennial with 18.7 left to go here in the first half. 16-8 the lead for the Chargers. And they're going to do a squib kick, and it's picked up by the Tigers' number 7. And he makes a couple of moves, and if he can get to the outside, he may have some room to go. That is Jeff Trask, Jr., for the Tigers, and he's brought down at the 45-yard line. All that running took about 11 seconds off the clock. For a minute there, it looked like if he could have got to the outside and turned it upfield, he might have had a chance. But Centennial did a good job of recovering. And now with under 8 seconds to go here on the clock, maybe a shot for Urbana to just throw a Hail Mary pass here before the half. 16-8 Centennial leads after the score. Probably the last play of the half here as Beckman's in the shotgun, empty backfield. He's looking though, and he's going to throw it downfield, and Cobbs is there. And it's incomplete as it was nearly intercepted by Phil Hassel. Phil Hassel is a 6'3", 175-pound wide receiver. And a defensive back, of course, as he was able to knock that one to the ground. So there's still 3 seconds on the clock, though, for Urbana. It gives them one more shot at some type of razzle-dazzle play here. Beckman in the shotgun at midfield, looking for some time. He's going to loft it down the far side, and a miscommunication there between him and the receiver, Tanner Russell, as Russell cut to the inside and Beckman threw it to the outside. And that's going to be the end of the first half. The Centennial Chargers, with a late score, have taken the lead. They lead 16-8 over the Urbana Tigers. We'll be back in about 15 minutes here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET.
Ulophobia, the fear of love.
Surprised he said that to you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Tommy Stewart Field. The band is still playing here on homecoming night here for Champaign Centennial as they lead the Urbana. There it is. Sorry about that, lost our mic for a second. So as I said, 16-8 now the score in favor of the Centennial Chargers here. We are at halftime. Try to get you some other scores here. Looks like Normal Community, another Big 12 game, leads Normal West 28-21. That game is at halftime. So a good one going on there in Normal. See what else we can find here. The Monticello Sages are all over Clinton, 40-0. We saw Clinton in our Week 3 matchup. Bismarck Henning leads Salt Fork 14-13. That game is at the half. Mahomet Seymour is leading their ball game 42-0. The Argenta Oriana Bombers, an Oka Valley matchup, they are leading their game 41-0. They're leading Central A&M. We also have the Unity Rockets. We saw them last week in a tough loss that they had to the Maroa Forsyth. They're winning their ball game over Sullivan 28-0 at half. Mattoon is beating Charleston 28-7. Some crosstown rivals there, much like Champaign and Urbana. They're not right next to each other. They're about 5-10 miles apart, but they're battling out and they're playing at EIU's field there in Charleston, and Mattoon is on top of that one 28-7. Gibson City Melvin Sibley 14, PBL 7 at the half. Champaign Central High School 12, Decatur MacArthur 14 at the half. So those are the scores that we have for you so far. Cerro Gordo is leading Tri-County 12-0 at half. St. Joe Ogden, the team we'll see next week when they face Champaign St. Thomas More right here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. They are tied with Iroquois West at 13, that with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Villa Grove Heritage, the team we saw on our opening week here for HSSPORTSLIVE.NET, we saw them defeat the Westville Tigers. They're leading Arcola 13-6. That nearing halftime as well. Mahomet Seymour, that score I gave you earlier, they're playing Rantoul, so they are defeating Rantoul right now. I think we gave you a score of 42-0. So that's Mahomet Seymour 42, Rantoul 0. Checking some other scores here. I told you I'd try to get you some baseball scores. With the pennant races winding down here, the last weekend of the Major League Baseball season as we're set to kick off here almost in Champaign. It's the Cardinals leading the Cubs 4-0. That's in the fourth inning. A win by the Cardinals clinches the NL Central Division. Pirates leading the Reds 4-1, so that factors into that division as well. The White Sox are trailing the Royals 4-0. So now back to the action here in Champaign. Urbana will be kicking off to start our second half, trailing 16-8. Peoples back deep here for Centennial. Number 28, a short kick picked up there by the Chargers and run across the 40-yard line to the 41.
Returns the kickoff to the Centennial 42-yard line.
So Centennial will have good field position here to start the second half, leading 16-8. They'll start at their own 40-yard line as Fitzgerald will bring the offense back out on the field. So one drive for the Chargers tonight was pretty much led by the running back Austin Maltby. and the other drive was pretty much through the air. So they've scored a couple of different ways tonight. We'll see how things go for the offense in the second half. There's the give to Maltbia. He's got room to run right up the middle. He could go. He's breaking to the outside. He breaks another tackle. He's at the 30. He's going to be brought down at the 26-yard line. A good run by Maltbia. A 24-yard run to open up the second half here for Austin Maltbia. He had their first scoring drive. Maltbia pretty much ran right up the gut of that Urbana defense and led Centennial to a touchdown. On a later drive, Urbana seemed to start to slow him down a little bit, but now he's opened up the second half with a 20-plus yard run. And they're going to give it to Maltbia again. He has another hole straight up the middle. And he gets to about the 28-yard line, or the 18-yard line, make that. It'll make it second down and 2 here for the Chargers. So just now, a minute gone by, and Centennial already down to the 18-yard line, looking to add to their 8-point lead here at home on homecoming night against the crosstown rival Urbana Tigers. There's the give to Maltbia. He goes up the middle again, and that'll be a first down. This one gets to the 12-yard line, 6 more yards for Maltbia. So all the way down to the 13 now. They started this drive at the 40. So if you can do the math, that's pretty much 3 carries and 47 yards for Maltbia just here to open up the second half. And the give is to Maltbia again. He turns now, tries to cut it to the outside, and he's going to find some yardage as it looked like the ball came out. We'll see if it looked like the referee ruled him down, though. Urbana thought that he might have fumbled, but it looks like the referees ruled it down. So that'll make it second down now and 6 to go from the 8-yard line for the Chargers. Centennial looking to add to their 16-8 lead here early in the second half. Urbana jumped out on top in this game 8-0, but since then it's been 2 scores by Centennial, and now they're looking to add more here. This time it's going to be Fitzgerald running right up the middle.
Jimmy Fitzgerald on the keeper. He takes the ball to the Urbana 3-yard line.
He gets it all the way down to the 3-yard line there. We'll see if they mark it a first down, and they do. So it's going to be first and goal for the Chargers at the 3-yard line. Centennial has been turned away on 2 previous red zone drives. They had a 4th and goal at the 10 that they couldn't convert, and they had a 4th and goal at the 8 that they couldn't convert. But now we'll see what they do this time. Maltbia is met in the middle that time, and he is swung down. No room at all on that play. They're going to say a loss of 7 yards on that play. Maltbia continued to try to fight for some yardage, but he ended up losing more yards in the process. Instead of just taking his forward momentum, he ended up getting pushed back, and he lost 7 yards on the play. So that'll make this a little bit tougher for the Chargers now. Instead of a goal to go inside the 5, it's now out to the 10. Fitzgerald in the shotgun, Maltbia in the backfield, 2 receivers to each side. He's looking to the far side. It could be picked off, and it's going to be picked off by Urbana. And if he can get down the sideline, a swung down there on the play. It's Mosoa Bumba with the interception for Urbana. Bumba with a big pick, and he returned it out to about the 24-yard line. Centennial looking to go in to build on their 8-point lead. But Fitzgerald throws the interception there as Bumba picked it off, returns it out about 22 yards. And now Urbana is going to look to turn the momentum in this ball game, as Centennial had kind of taken control here to start the second half, looking to build a 2-score lead. But the interception has turned the tide here early on, and we'll see if the Urbana offense can do something with the football. .8:35 on the clock here as the referees are trying to get everything sorted out here. Alex Beckman now bringing the Urbana offense to the field, awaiting the snap in the shotgun again. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. He's got Patton in the backfield. He's looking to throw. This one's batted in the air and incomplete. He was looking for Tanner Russell. The ball was batted in the air. Ends up hitting the ground, nearly intercepted by the Chargers as they tried to basically turn the tide there and do the same thing that the Tigers had just done to them. 2nd down and 10 now. Beckman in the shotgun awaiting the snap. Patton in the backfield. The give is to Patton. He goes up the middle and maybe for a yard. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and long for the Tigers. So approaching 4 minutes gone by here in the first half. We're about at 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 10 for Urbana. 2 receivers to each side. Looks like that's Cobbs in the backfield now with Beckman awaiting the snap. Beckman falls down and stumbles, and he's going to be ruled down there about the 14-yard line. So unable to get a playoff are the Tigers, and they're going to have to punt from their own 14-yard line. So Centennial survives the turnover as far as not giving up any points, but they still lost a golden opportunity to put points on the board. But the defense did a good job of getting a 3-and-out from Urbana as Cedric Fry is ready to punt to Centennial. It's going to be picked up on a bounce by Quinn, and he's going to be brought down about the 39-yard line. Aaron Quinn returns it about 5 yards to the 39-yard line. Good field position for the Chargers. And we'll see what the offense has in mind here. They mainly ran the ball their last possession, but they got into a long down situation there as they lost 7 yards on a Maltbia carry and set up a longer situation. They ended up throwing it, and it was picked off by the Tigers in the end zone. There's the give to Maltbia. He's looking to hit to the outside, but a nice tackle out there for Urbana. That's Kenny Patton out there with the tackle. Running back / linebacker for the Tigers. And he made a great play there to hold Maltbia and actually lost a yard there. Under 7 minutes now here in the third. 2nd down and 11 for Centennial. Jimmy Fitzgerald, 6'3", 220-pound junior quarterback for the Chargers. Fitzgerald looking to throw. He throws it over the middle, nearly picked off, and it might have been caught. They're going to say it hit the ground. I'm not so sure as it was batted up in the air by Patton, and I can't quite see the number there. That's number 3, Johnny Murray for Urbana. He ended up coming up with the ball, but I guess he didn't quite get his arms under it, and it hit the ground. We do have an injured player down for Urbana. Can't quite see who it is. We'll try to get that information for you when we can. We're going to take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be right back here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Yeah. Welcome back here to Tommy Stewart Field here in Champaign. The Centennial Chargers leading the Urbana Tigers 16-8. It'll be a 3rd down and 11 coming up here for Centennial. An injured player down for the Tigers. He is sitting up though, so it's good to see him sitting up. Still haven't quite been able to read the number here. Yeah, it looks like number 24, he's running off the field. That's Boombum. He's the one who intercepted the pass in the end zone just a few minutes ago for the Tigers. He's able to run off the field, so hopefully he's going to be okay. So the Centennial offense will come back out on the field now, facing a 3rd down and 11. Leading 16-8 with 6 minutes and 28 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Fitzgerald now looking to throw, looks for a man on the outside who's covered. He's got a man wide open here at the 30, and it's caught. Then the ball comes loose. Nope. He's able to recover. That was Dominic Stampley who caught the ball up near maybe 3 or 4 yards short of the 1st down, but then he ran backwards about 5 yards. And that'll make it 4th down and 9, so only a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Stampley looked like he might have had an opportunity to try to turn upfield for the 1st down. Centennial's going to punt here, try to pin Urbana back deep in their territory here. Dustin Lard back deep here for the Tigers to receive the punt. Looks like a timeout by Urbana here. As Coach Nathan Watson didn't like something that he saw, so he called a timeout. And they're going to talk about what they're going to do here on this punt formation. Patrick Gibbons was back deep to punt there for Centennial. He's the Centennial punter. Gibbons is a 5'10", 185-pound junior. Another player down on the field for Urbana. Oh, just stretching his leg out, though. Looks like he might have just had a cramp or something. That's big 57, Cedric Fry. We've called his name several times tonight, 6'3", 265. He just needed to stretch out his leg there a little bit. So 4th and 9 here, Centennial. Gibbons back out on the field, getting ready to punt. Lard back deep to receive it, standing at his own 10-yard line. There's a snap. It goes off the middle man for the Chargers, and it's going to be recovered there at the 45 by number 45, Gibbons. I haven't seen that too many times where the snap actually hit the middle man of the Chargers, deflected off him. And Gibbons didn't have anything to do except to run back and fall on it. They're going to say that we're going to mark it down right about the 40-yard line, and that's where Urbana will take over, trailing 16-8. But a break for them as Centennial was looking to pin them back deep in their own area. But now they'll start at the Centennial 40-yard line. Great field position for the Tigers and Alex Beckman. Beckman gets the snap, looking to throw. Oh, he's hit as he throws, and it's going to be incomplete. Good pressure there by the Chargers. He tried to step up in the pocket, but he was hit while he was trying to throw. So 2nd down and 10 now for Urbana. The Centennial defense has done a very good job since that drive in the 1st quarter that Urbana used to go up 8-0. Since then, it's been a good job by the Centennial defense shutting down this Urbana offense, who scored 50 points last week against Springfield Lanphier. There's the give up the middle to Patton. He gets maybe 2 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down and an 8 as we approach 5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's like an official timeout as we have another Urbana Tiger down on the field. See if we can figure out who this one is. Hopefully it's just a cramp or something again for Urbana. Cedric Fry was cramping up earlier, and they just had him laying down on the field, and they were stretching him out. So we'll have to see if this is him again. He is an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, but I'm unable to see the number here. 16-8, the Centennial Chargers lead the Urbana Tigers. 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 3rd down and 8 upcoming for the Tigers. So it looks like they are stretching out the leg here of the injured Urbana player. We're going to stay here for now. I was thinking, as it looks like is that Patton? That is Patton, number 45. That was the ball carrier. They were stretching his leg out as he's kind of hobbling off the field here. Patton's been in the backfield at times when Cobbs has been split out to wide receiver, and he's also been a key player on defense for the Tigers. So hopefully he'll be able to return for Urbana. So 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers as they come out. They're inside the 40 at the 38-yard line, thanks to the botched snap by the Chargers on the punt. Clock is rolling now as we're under 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. We'll have 2 receivers here to the near side, 3 to the far side. Beckman with an empty backfield. And now we have a timeout by Centennial. And they want to talk about it as they didn't like the formation, as they had a bunch formation of 3 receivers there at the top of the field. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. We're back here in Champaign, 3rd down and 8 as Beckman receives a snap. He looks to hit the receiver outside, and it's caught there, and he makes a move, and he might go. That's the freshman that we've talked about tonight, and he takes the ball all the way inside the 5-yard line. That's Jamin Carter, the 5'7" freshman we've talked about several times tonight. He had an electric catch there early in the game, and a nice play there as they set that play up beautifully. A little wide receiver screen to the outside. The blocking was out in front of him, and he used his speed. And he got it all the way down to the Centennial 5-yard line where it's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers. And they give us to Carter on a little bit of a wide receiver sweep. He cuts it up the middle, and he's going to be brought down at the 2-yard line. And a little bit of a youth movement here for the Tigers, as we've talked about Beckman. He's just a sophomore, and Carter just a freshman. And this could be a tandem that the area would have to worry about here for several years. Carter now in the backfield with Beckman. First time we've seen that tonight. And they give it to Carter, and he tries to go up the middle, but he's going to be brought down there. Nice bit of tackling by Jordan Terry of the Chargers. And that'll make it 3rd down and goal now. On the 3. So here we are. 3:51 left to go in the third quarter. Urbana trailing Centennial 16-8. 3rd down and goal for the Tigers at the 3-yard line. Beckman with an empty backfield in the shotgun. Looking to throw a quick slant over the middle to Cobbs, and it's incomplete, knocked away there. I believe that's number 28 for the Chargers. Jeremiah Peoples knocking that away. So now a big 4th down and goal play from the 3 for Urbana. Trailing 16-8 here late in the third quarter. So the big play by the freshman Jamin Carter got him down to the 5-yard line. Carter took a pass and went about 35 yards. They've only been able to get 2 yards since then, and it's 4th and goal here. Beckman looking to throw, and it's going to be knocked away, incomplete, and the defense is held for the Chargers. Jordan Terry in, knocking it away, as well as Patrick Gibbons in there on the play. So a huge goal line stand for the Chargers. And that keeps their 8-point lead intact, and they'll take over on their own 3-yard line, still leading 16-8 with 3:32 left to go here in the third quarter. So a big turn of events there. The bad snap set Urbana up nicely, and then they converted a 3rd down play with about a 35-yard pass to Jamin Carter. So 1st and goal at the 5 for the Tigers, and they were unable to punch it in. And now Centennial will take over here at the 3-yard line. 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. Fitzgerald in the shotgun, gives it to Maltby. Maltby able to power forward for about 2 yards.
Takes the ball to the Centennial 5-yard line. Tackle on play by Potter.
That'll make it 2nd down and 8 for the Chargers.
Centennial at their own 5-yard line.
We're approaching 3 minutes now here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 8 for Centennial. Ball at their own 5-yard line. Maltby in the backfield with Fitzgerald. The give is to Maltby. He sheds 1 tackle, and then he's brought down about the 6. That'll make it a 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
Tackle on play by Fry. It'll be 3rd down, 36 for Centennial.
Cedric Fry tackling Maltby there on that play. And a big play here for the Chargers. They'd love to pick up a 1st down so they don't have to punt from their own end zone. Urbana would love to get a 3 and out here and get that ball back to their offense. 2:10 now showing on the clock here in the third quarter. They're going to call a timeout here. The Chargers are going to call a timeout. And with 2:05 left to go here in the third quarter, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here in about 1 minute on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. All right, back here in Champaign. Centennial with a big 3rd down play right here. He's got a man open. It's batted straight up in the air, and then it's caught, and he's got some room to run. A huge play. Aaron Quinn. Ball was batted straight up in the air by an Urbana defender. Quinn ends up getting the ball and then ends up getting about 30 yards out of it. And what looked like it could have been a big play for the Urbana defense turns into a 1st down and 10 for Centennial at the 34. Another player down here for the Tigers.
We have an official's timeout.
We'll see who that is. That looks like it might be Cedric Fry. We talked about him earlier. He was down once before. So a big 3rd down conversion there by the Chargers. They were looking to have to punt from their own end zone. A good play by the Urbana defense. The ball was batted straight up in the air. But unfortunately for Urbana, it ended up in the hands of Aaron Quinn. And Quinn was able to take it for about 30 yards. And Cedric Fry is the injured Tiger as they're helping him off the field. And he is a big part of the Urbana defense. So we hope that he's okay, and for Urbana's sake, we hope that he can get back out on the field. It'll be a big loss for the Tigers if Cedric's not able to get back out there tonight. So we're under 2 minutes now here in the third quarter. Centennial runs to the line. Urbana's defense isn't even lined up yet. 1st and 10 from the 34. They're going to give it to Maltbia, and he's brought down. Good bit of tackling there for the Tigers. Connor Grimmer with the tackle. So 2nd down and 11 now for the Chargers. Ball now back at the 33-yard line. Centennial holding on to a 16-8 lead here with only about a minute left in the third quarter here in Champaign. Crosstown rivals Champaign Centennial and the Urbana Tigers facing off. The fake to Maltbia, and he throws it to the outside. It is caught, but he's run right out of bounds. Christian Wade on the catch, maybe a gain of 2. So that'll make it 3rd down and 10 for the Chargers. So they need another big 3rd down conversion here, or they're going to end up punting the ball to Urbana. Fitzgerald now standing at about the 30 in the shotgun, looking to throw. Some pressure by Urbana. He's rolling to the outside. Grimmer has given him some pressure, but it's going to be caught by Stephen Lee. A nice pitch and catch right there between Lee and Fitzgerald. And that's going to be a 1st down for Centennial at the 46-yard line. That's 2 consecutive 3rd down conversions for the Chargers. Another big play there that keeps the offense on the field. And that's going to be probably the last play of the quarter here. We'll see as we're approaching under 5 seconds here. We'll see if Centennial tries to get a snap off. They will not. So that'll be the end of the third quarter. Centennial leads 16-8. We'll be back here in about a minute on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Welcome back to Champaign. Play to open the fourth quarter here for the Chargers. There's a run to the outside by Maltbia. He gets it down to the Urbana 46-yard line, a gain of about 7 or 8. Make it on the play. So 2nd down and 2 for the Chargers. Centennial leading 16-8. If they're able to put together a scoring drive here, could really put Urbana in the hole here as we're just now entering the fourth quarter. The give to Maltbia again. He makes a move up the middle. He's got running room. He's going to be spun down about the 31. It's number 6 on the tackle. John Tauber on the tackle. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Check that, Demetrius Jackson on the tackle.
31-yard line.
Got 2 number 6s here on my roster, so I apologize for calling the wrong number 6 there. It was Demetrius Jackson on the tackle, not John Tauber. There's Fitzgerald, gives it to Maltbia again. He goes to the outside, and he's going to be spins out of it. It looked like he had nowhere to go, but he spun out of it and ends up picking up about another 8 yards. It's been a streaky game for the Centennial running game in Maltbia. There's been periods of time when the running game looked unstoppable, and then you'd have periods where it seemed like he was getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. But right now they're having a time where Maltbia is breaking off 10, 12-yard runs once again. 2nd down and 3 for Centennial at the 24-yard line of Urbana, looking to extend on an 8-point lead. Fitzgerald in the shotgun. He's going to run it himself this time, and he gets the 1st down. And he's going to be thrown down out of bounds inside the 20, about the 16, 17-yard line. Connor Grimmer looked like he had a little pressure there early on the quarterback, but he was able to straight arm off of him and then get across for the 1st down. And that puts Centennial in the red zone. 1st down and 10 at the 17-yard line. Centennial has been down here several times tonight. They have 16 points on the board, but they had at least 2 other times where they were inside the red zone and not unable to put points on the board. So we'll see what happens on this possession. Fitzgerald awaiting the snap, gives it to Maltbia. Maltbia turns it the other way again. He runs to that outside, but then he's able to turn it back towards the middle and picks up another 6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 4 for Centennial now. Approaching 9 minutes left to go here in the ball game. Centennial leading 16-8, 2nd down and 4 on the Urbana 11-yard line. Centennial looking to add to their 8-point lead. Fitzgerald in the shotgun. He's going to give it to Maltbia again, and he's got a lot of room to run, and he's going to get all the way down to about the 2-yard line. Maltbia with a nice run there, a little bit of a salute to the fans. And now with under 9 minutes to go, Centennial looking to put a 2-score difference between them and Urbana. Centennial had an opportunity earlier in the red zone to add to their lead, and it was an interception thrown by Fitzgerald. We'll see what they do here. 1st and goal from the 2. Maltbia standing beside Fitzgerald in the backfield. Fitzgerald's just going to try to run it right up the gut. The ball came out, but they're going to say he was down. Fitzgerald just tried to run straight up the middle and get in. They're going to say he's down about the 1-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1 for the Chargers. Not really a lot of arguing going on down there, so Urbana doesn't really seem to think that Fitzgerald was not down. So we'll see what happens here now. 2nd down and goal on the 1. Fitzgerald in the shotgun. Maltbia with him in the backfield. Fitzgerald's going to look to throw. He throws it to Maltbia. He catches it. Oh, the ball falls out. Maltbia was hit hard, and the ball came out. They're going to rule it an incomplete pass as Maltbia is trying to gather himself there. They tried a quick little flip screen pass there to Maltbia, and it looked like he was getting ready to catch it and run into the end zone, but he was hit at the same time. Oh, now a flag comes in. A late flag. We'll see what the flag is. Not sure what it was here. Looks like it's on Urbana. I'm not sure what that call is. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Urbana. I'm not sure what happened. It was way after the play was over. The referee was standing near the Centennial huddle, and then he decided to throw out the flag. But that makes it a first down and goal for the Chargers at the 1 yard line. Instead of a 3rd and goal, it's now a 1st and goal. And they're going to go right up the gut with Fitzgerald, I'm sorry. And Fitzgerald scores. Touchdown, Centennial. And that makes it 22-8 now in favor of the Chargers. That's the 4th running touchdown on the season for Fitzgerald. He had 3 rushing touchdowns coming into this ball game. That's his 4th now. And that puts Centennial in control of this ball game. Under 8 minutes to go, 7:39 on the clock. And they lead 22-8 as they line up here for the 2-point conversion. Fitzgerald gets the snap. He's looking to throw the fade to Lee on the outside, and it's knocked away. Lee unable to come down with the fade there. But Centennial puts 6 more points on the board, gives them 22 to the Tigers 8, and we'll be back here in 1 minute on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Back here in Champaign at Tommy Stewart Field, and another score by the Chargers, this time a 1-yard touchdown run by Jimmy Fitzgerald. And Centennial now in control, 22-8. With 7:39 left to go in the ballgame. A squib kick here by the Chargers. It's picked up by Jamin Carter. He tries to find a little room up the middle. He does. He finds a little hole and then squirts through and then is brought down about the 42. Carter, as we've seen tonight, a very dangerous player. Very shifty, very speedy. Able to find some holes and get it all the way up to the 42-yard line. Urbana's going to be quick here, a no-huddle offense, trailing now by 2 scores with 7:30 to go. They really need to try to move things along here on offense. So Beckman in the shotgun. Looking to throw is Beckman. He's being pressured. He rolls to the outside. He's got a man open, but he overthrew him just barely. That was Tanner Russell there on the outside. And that's the kind of play that Urbana needs to convert if they want to get back in the ballgame here, trailing 22-8. A quick play like that, and we've got a whole new ballgame. So Beckman in the shotgun again. Cobb's in the backfield with him. I'm a little surprised that Urbana hasn't tried to have Cobb's out at that wide receiver spot. There's a throw there to the outside. It's caught by Bumba, but a good bit of tackling there by Centennial. That's number 45, Patrick Gibbons. Bumba had a big interception earlier and then was helped off the field after an injury, but he's obviously back out on the field. As I was saying, though, on the scoring drive that the Tigers did have in this ball game, they pretty much had Cobb's out at wide receiver and Kenny Patton and running back, and Cobb's made some huge plays in the passing game. But since then, they pretty much put Cobb's in the backfield. Big 3rd down and 12 play here for Urbana. He's being blitzed. He throws it up in the air, and it's caught. But that's a lineman who's going to be an illegal receiver on the play. It was number 54 for Urbana, Britton Roberts, who ended up catching that ball. But that is an illegal receiver. A lineman is unable to catch a ball unless it's deflected. And that was not deflected. So that's going to be a penalty on the Tigers. It is declined, of course. That'll force a 4th down and 12 now for Urbana. And Urbana's in danger of letting this game get away now as they're punting it back to Centennial, trailing 22-8 with 6:40 left to go in the ball game. Urbana getting a little beat up here tonight as they've had several players hobble off the field or be helped off the field. This one's picked up by Centennial inside the 30, about the 27. That's Aaron Quinn. He gets it to about the 35. They're going to mark it at the 37. Inside 7 minutes, 6:29 left to go. Centennial in control, 22-8. Looking to move their record to 2-3 on the season and improve their chances at making a run here in the last 4 games of the season at the playoffs. Urbana would fall to 1-4. Basically meaning that they'd have to win their last 4 contests to have a chance to qualify for the playoffs. So Fitzgerald in the shotgun, Maltbia with him back there. They're going to give it to Maltbia, and he cuts up the middle again, and he's going to break it towards the outside and be brought down about the 46. That's been Centennial's bread and butter tonight as Maltbia up the middle, and Urbana has been unable to find a way to stop it. 1st and 10, ball all the way up to the 46-yard line of Urbana. Centennial looking to add to this lead of 22-8. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you're still watching here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I'm Chris Foster here with Rob Woods. Week 5 of the Illinois high school football season. Fitzgerald gets the snap, puts it in the belly of Maltbia. He runs up the middle and gets about 3 or 4 yards. The Urbana defense really needs to come up with a stop right here on this set of downs if they want to get the ball back for the offense with a chance to try to get back in this ball game. 2nd down and 6 as Centennial comes to the line. They're in no hurry. Clock ticking away, under 5.5 to go now in the ball game. Fitzgerald waiting the snap, gives it to Maltbia. Maltbia cuts up the middle again. This time he's going to be swung down. Not much room that time, maybe a yard. Number 24 there for the Tigers on the tackle. That's Bumba. He's made several nice plays tonight for Urbana. So 3rd down and 6 now. Possible 2-down territory for Centennial. It's on the border, so this will be interesting to see what happens. But a big 3rd down here for Urbana. They want to at least force a 4th down try here for Centennial. They're going to blitz up the middle, but they didn't get through. Now they're coming through, and they bring him down. Fitzgerald had nobody open, and he's ended up sacked there by Patton, number 45 for Urbana. That's his 2nd sack of the night as he's still hobbling a little bit as he was helped off the field earlier. So that makes it 4th and 10 now, back at the 47-yard line. 4:15 left to go in the ball game. So Urbana's defense did their job on that set of downs and have forced a punt here by Centennial. Patrick Gibbons in to punt here for the Chargers. Exactly 4 minutes on the clock. Good penetration by Urbana. This one's going to be caught by number 11 for Urbana, but unable to return it as he steps out of bounds. That's Dustin Lard. And with 3:53 left to go in this ball game, Centennial in control 22-8, and Urbana's going to need to make some big plays in a hurry if they're going to want to try to have a chance in this ball game here tonight at Tommy Stewart Field. We were here in week 2 as Urbana fell in dramatic fashion to Champaign Central 21-20. So the Champaign School's looking to sweep Urbana here tonight with Centennial in charge 22-8. There's the snap. Beckman looking to throw, and he is going to be brought down. Several flags thrown on the play, so we'll have to see what that is, if it could be holding on the Tigers.
There are penalty flags on the play.
Looks like holding on Urbana.
Atkinson on the
So already 1st and 10 at their own 19. It's going to push them back even more. It's going to be declined by Centennial, as they did sack the quarterback on the play, so that makes it 2nd down. Ball all the way back to the 10-yard line now. 2nd down and 19 for Urbana. That's where Beckman stands now at his own 5 with Cobbs back there with him. Beckman throws it to Cobbs. He's going to turn it upfield at the 10, the 15, spin around and get taken down about the 22, and that's a nice play by the Urbana offense to pick up a good chunk of the yardage that they just lost. That turns a 2nd and 19 into a 3rd and 7. But Urbana running out of time here in Champaign as we're approaching 3 minutes left to go. Urbana trailing 22-8 to Centennial. Still have 78 yards of green here to cover before they get any more points on the board. Another flag. It's like we have movement by the Tigers. So a false start, that'll turn a 3rd and 7 into a 3rd and 12. 5 more yards in the wrong direction for Urbana. We have an official's timeout on the field. 3 minutes to go. Centennial leading Urbana 22-8. As I stated earlier, Central did beat Urbana earlier, 21-20 this year. So if the score stays the way that we have it, we will have the October 18th Champaign Central Champaign Centennial game for you live right here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. And it will be to determine the championship between these 3 schools. Not if they really have a championship, but the 2-city tournament there. What a move here on the outside by Tanner. It's the first time that Tanner, Russell, and Beckman have really been able to connect tonight. Russell gets it all the way up to the 45 as he caught 44 make it. So he caught that pass and then just turned it towards the sideline and picked up a good chunk of yardage. 2:49 on the clock now as the clock is winding again. 22-8. Urbana trying to put something on the board here to possibly get a late score and set something up for an onside kick. It's like a miscommunication there between Beckman and his wide receiver, Dustin Lard. 2:41 showing on our clock. 22-8, Centennial in control here over Urbana. Urbana trying to put something together here, get some points up, late points on the board. Possibly pull off something dramatic here in the last few minutes. Beckman in the shotgun, empty backfield. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Centennial nearly stepped off, but they didn't, and there's a complete pass. A late flag comes flying in here from the back. That was Tanner Russell again on the reception. Picks up about 8 yards. We'll see what the flag is. Looks like a blow to the head. If that's the call, that looked like it could be a 15-yard penalty on Centennial. The clock is stopped at 2:35 right now. And that'll move the ball all the way up. 34-yard line. So Urbana now getting closer to the red zone here. 1st and 10 from the Centennial 34 now. As they blow the whistle and the clock winds with 2:30 on the clock. Beckman gets the snap. A blitz in by Centennial. Beckman's able to break through though. And then he's going to be able to get just a couple of yards as he makes it to about the 33. Number 11, Jordan Terry, came flying in for Centennial, but he was unable to wrap up Beckman, and he was able to at least get a couple of yards out of it. but the clock definitely ticking. That play cost Urbana a lot of valuable time. 2nd down and 8 now as Beckman's awaiting the snap. Cobb's in the backfield with him, 2 receivers to each side. Beckman looking to throw. This time he is brought down as Centennial is sending the house here late in the game as they know they have to pass, so they don't really have any doubt whether they're running or not, and the blitz is getting to the Urbana Tigers here. Clock is ticking down now, 1:40 on the game. 3rd down and 13 for the Tigers, and they are running out of time here tonight. There's the give. Now Beckman looking to throw. It's going to be caught there by Bumba on the outside. He's still fighting for yards, and he's going to be brought down about the 29-yard line. That'll make about a 4th down and 5 as we approach a minute to go here in the ball game.
Ball's at the Centennial 29-yard line. And then 4th down, 4th and 4 for Urbana. Centennial 29-yard line.
So 4th down and 4 here. Beckman awaiting the snap. 50 seconds to go in the ball game. Blitz by Centennial. The ball thrown up in the air, knocked away, and that's going to do it. Centennial is going to win this ball game tonight here at Tommy Stewart Field. 22-8. The score shows with 48 seconds left to go in the ball game.
Beckman's pass intended for Blue-Ball. Broken up by number 11, George Terry. Centennial takes over on down on their own 29-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers.
So 1st and 10, Centennial will take over at their own 29-yard line. I expect to just see a couple of kneels here, and this game will be over as Centennial will defeat the Urbana Tigers and move to 2-3 on the season, snapping a 3-game losing streak. They're going to give it to Maltbia. He gets up to about the 39. A little bit of a scuffle here up near midfield.
He's tackled at the Centennial 40-yard line.
Under 30 seconds now, as Centennial's going to win this ball game 22-8. Again, moving to 2-3. Urbana falling to 1-4. 15 seconds now on the clock. Fitzpatrick in the shotgun. Maltbia in the backfield with them. Bunch formation. There's the kneel down. And that's going to be the ball game. Centennial pulls out the victory 22-8 over the Tigers of Urbana. We'll be back in about 30 seconds to wrap it up. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Our final score, Champaign Centennial 22, the Urbana Tigers 8. Centennial moving to 2-3 on the season. Urbana falls to 1-4. A very good ball game here tonight as Urbana started off with a scoring drive and took an 8-0 lead, but from that point, Centennial took over, scored the last 22 points of the ball game. Austin Maltbia had a very good ball game. Jimmy Fitzgerald had a nice ball game. A good group of receivers there by Centennial. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do in their last 4 ball games. 2-3, as I said. So if they can win 3 of their last 4 ball games, they might have a chance to get to the playoffs. And that would be good news for Centennial. as Central and Urbana are struggling, so Centennial maybe be the team here that can get into the playoffs here for us locally. Just to wrap things up, Centennial 22, Urbana 8. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. I'm Chris Foster here. I'd like to thank my cameraman again, Rob Woods, and Taylor Dorsey, who was here earlier filming. Next week we will be here in Champaign still, but we'll be at a different field. We'll be at Champaign St. Thomas More for their rival matchup against the St. Joseph Ogden Spartans. That's a Sangamon Valley Conference matchup. The next week after that, we have a schedule change. We will be back in Tolono Unity. We were there last week. We'll be in Tolono Unity as they take on the Monticello Sages. The next week after that, we'll be right back here at Tommy Stewart Field. Champaign Centennial, you see the victors there on your screen. Champaign Centennial will be taking on Champaign Central. That's always an exciting matchup. And then we'll wrap up the season with Monticello again. This time we'll be in Monticello as they take on Decatur St. Teresa in another Okaw Valley matchup. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching our broadcast here on HSSPORTSLIVE.NET. Again, I am Chris Foster. If you're interested in advertising for us, just email us at hssportslive@yahoo.com. Thanks again to Rob Woods and Taylor Dorsey. We'll see you next Friday night at Champaign St. Thomas More when the Spartans take on the Sabres.